There are days you dive into the water and everything just clicks. Your stroke feels long, you feel light, smooth, effortless. You don't think, you just move. And then there are those other days, the ones where you can't find your rhythm. Your stroke feels clunky, your legs sink, and your arms are fighting the water like you've forgotten how to swim. You decide to push harder in these moments, but all it does is leave you feeling heavier. I see this all the time, especially in younger swimmers, those between the ages of 12 to 16. One day they're smooth as silk, and the next it's like gravity doubled overnight. They'll say, "Coach, I don't get it. Yesterday I was flying in the water, I was hitting every time, and it felt effortless." And they're right, because something actually changed. That something is your center of gravity. And if you don't understand how it shifts, you'll keep fighting the water instead of flowing with it. Today, we're going to break this down, the science, the feel, the drills that will help you master your balance, find your flow, and swim like the water was built for you, not against you. But before we dive deep into that, let me explain who I am and why this should matter to you. I'm Coach Chris. I've been on both sides of this sport. 20 years racing up to a national level, and 20 more years coaching swimmers from beginners to future collegiate athletes. I've studied the principles and success stories and even the failures of some of the best. Bob Bowman, Dave Marsh, Mike Bottom, Todd DeSerbo, just to name a few. And what I've learned from each and every one of them is that speed in swimming comes from connection, not muscle, not mileage, connection. The connection between your core, your hips, your hands, and the water. That connection starts with understanding where your center of gravity lives and how it can shift day to day. This is one of those concepts that once you feel it, you'll never swim the same way again. Your center of gravity is your body's balance point, the place where your mass is evenly distributed. On land, it sits roughly around the hips, but in water, it shifts because of the density of your body changes. Your lungs are full of air, your legs are heavier, your head position changes your balance. So when you enter the water, your center of gravity and your center of buoyancy, the point where your body naturally floats, aren't in the same place. That gap creates rotation, lift, or even drag. When you're in balance, those 2 points align. Your body floats straight, streamlined, and efficient. But when they're misaligned, you tilt, your legs drop, you feel heavy in the pool, and everything feels like it's got resistance. It's not that you've forgotten how to swim, it's just that your body's balance point moved and your brain hasn't caught up yet. This is why teenage swimmers feel off so very often. During puberty, their body is literally changing every week. Height, limb length, muscle density, even fat distribution. Their center of gravity is a moving target. And when that shifts, so does their stroke timing, their kick rhythm, and their overall feel for the water. But once they learn to find it again, everything returns to balance. Let's talk about those chaos years, the ages of 12 to 16. For most swimmers, it's like their body's been hijacked. Their arms feel too long, their legs too heavy, their stroke timing off by milliseconds that feels like miles. I remember these days far too well. And honestly, I wouldn't go back to them if you paid me. And here's what's wild. They're not wrong. These swimmers, they'll complain about how it feels in the pool, and you can't, as a coach, just brush that off. is legit. They do feel different from a Tuesday to a Wednesday practice. A swimmer growing just 1 inch can shift their center of gravity by several centimeters. That may sound small, but in swimming, centimeters change everything. If your center of gravity moves lower, like when your legs get longer faster than your torso, your hips begin to sink. Suddenly, you're plowing through the water instead of gliding on top. If it moves higher, like your upper body strength builds faster than your leg mass, you might feel like your legs can't catch up. You'll over rotate, overreach, and lose your alignment in the pool. Hips will start to wobble back and forth. It's not from a lack of talent, it's a lack of awareness, but awareness that you can't necessarily control. Your job isn't to fight your body through these changes, it's to learn to find your balance again. Because when you can feel your center of gravity, you can adjust in real time. That's what separates frustrated swimmers from the elite ones, especially during these ages. Here's how this works at a biomechanical level. When you're in the water, three forces are always at play: gravity, pulling you down, buoyancy, pushing you up, and momentum, driving you forward. The sweet spot, your flow state, happens when those three forces balance together. If your head lifts too high, your hips are going to drop. If your legs kick downward, you're pushing your torso up. If your chest presses slightly, your hips will naturally rise. This is why so many elite swimmers look calm and horizontal even at full speed. They're not muscling through the water, they're balancing it. Here's a metaphor I like to use with my athletes. Think of your body like a seesaw. If your head is one side and your legs are on the other, your core is the pivot point between the two. Move your head an inch up or down, and the whole system tilts differently. That's the level of sensitivity top swimmers develop. They don't just swim, they tune their body balances like an instrument. So now that we understand those concepts, let's get practical. One of my favorite drills for finding balance and the center of gravity is a 3-2-1 freestyle drill. Here's how it works. You start off by taking 3 freestyle strokes. 1, 2, 3. You then hold for a 2-second balance count while kicking on your side. One arm extended, one arm down at your hip. Then, slowly and controlled, roll onto your back for a 1-second streamline, bringing that hip arm up top. Then kick on your back just for a second or two, and now roll back to the other side and repeat. This drill helps isolate the body's shifting balance points. When you pause on your side, you're teaching your body to hold its center, to find stability through the core, not the arms. When you rotate into the streamline, you're connecting both halves. The rotation flow that ties left and right sides together. You'll feel your center move as you breathe, as your chest presses and your hips rotate. Your job isn't to fight it, it's to feel it and find the moment of stillness inside that motion. That's your center. This is not only my favorite drill, but my senior group absolutely loves this one. We slow everything down and we do this just over and over again. And I find after we do this drill for a while, we get some really fast swims afterwards. Now, drill number 2 is a little bit like our 3-2-1 freestyle, except you're going to kick on your side, but this time with a snorkel. This one's simple, but brutally effective. Put on a snorkel, extend one arm in front, keeping the other arm down by your side, and kick gently on your side for 25 yards. You want to focus on keeping your head neutral, eyes down, pressing your chest slightly into the water, engaging your core to keep your hips high. When you do this right, you'll feel a line run from your fingertips through your spine down to your toes. That's alignment. You shouldn't need to skull at the top to try to hold your body positioned. You want a nice flat hand out front and then let it flow all the way down your body. Most swimmers fail here because they hold tension in their neck or they overkick just to stay afloat. Relax. Let the water support you. The more you trust your balance, the easier this drill gets. This is especially good for teenage swimmers. It trains them to adapt to their shifting balance as they grow. The third drill I use to teach center control is Core Streamline Glides. Push off the wall in a perfect tight streamline. Tight core, long line. Glide until you almost stop. Then gently press your chest and hips to reset your line. The goal isn't distance here. It's about awareness. Where does your body start to drop? Do your legs sink first? Or does your chest just automatically lift? That's your feedback loop. You can add balance bobs here if you don't want to actually push off the wall. There's short vertical kicks in place, hands at your side. Each time you bob, exhale water and reestablish your balance before surfacing. You can even take this a step further and not add the kicks. Just start in a horizontal position and find where that equilibrium is in your balance. Take note of what sank first, what went up, what went down. You'll be training your internal sense of position. This is what helps master swimmers too. Awareness replaces flexibility, something we lose as we get older. Let's zoom back out and talk about why this works. Balance reduces drag. That's obvious. But here's the deeper reason why your body finds equilibrium. Your muscles fire more effectively, more efficiently. Every muscle contraction is supported, not resisted. Your core stabilizers, the transverse abdominals, the obliques, and the lower back, start acting as energy bridges instead of energy leaks. A 2019 study in the Journal of Sports Biomechanics found that swimmers with better horizontal alignment used up to 11% less oxygen per 100 meters than those with even slight tilts or leg drops. That is a huge number. Now imagine compounding that over a 200, 400, 1,000. Think about that. The same speed with 11% less effort just from finding your balance. When you find your center, the water stops fighting you. You start using it to build more and more momentum. Once you start practicing these drills, something will change. You stop thinking about your hips or your chest. You start feeling the rhythm of balance. You'll notice micro adjustments happening on their own. Your core tightens at the right time. Your breath fits the rhythm. Your kick timing syncs perfectly with the rest of your stroke. This is what I call the still point. It's that calm place in motion where effort disappears and speed takes over. Every elite swimmer you've ever watched has found it. They're not fighting for alignment, they're flowing through it. That's what understanding your center gives you: control through surrender. You stop forcing the water to move. You start letting the water move with you. So here's how you start tomorrow. Step one, awareness. In warm up, add that 3, 2, 1 freestyle drill or the side kicking with the snorkel each and every day. Make it a repetitive habit. Step two, feel before you fix. Instead of thinking, I need to keep my hips up, ask, where is my center right now? Finally, train your balance like strength. It's a skill, it adapts, especially if you're growing, changing, or returning to the sport after a long hiatus. The swimmers who master this, they're not just swimming faster, they're swimming connected. And if you want help finding that connection, inside the Swim Accelerator, we offer full frameworks, drills, and video feedback to help you find that perfect balance. Or even try the AI Swim Coach. It's your 24/7 coach that'll design balance focused workouts and drills built around your exact body type, goals, and strokes. I've included links in the description below for both. And if you want daily cues, rhythm tips, and new drills to test, follow me on Instagram at Between Laps. You'll find short reels breaking this type of information down in detail. Balance isn't just a technique, it's the foundation of speed, rhythm, and flow. When you find your center of gravity in the water and in yourself, you stop fighting for control. You start becoming the swimmer you were meant to be. So, next time you feel heavy, don't panic. Smile. You're just out of balance. And balance is completely trainable. Find your center, feel your flow. That's where your speed lives. Until next time, I'll see you between the laps.